is not the Chubby Bunny Challenge. This is knowledge. Back in the 60s, a professor at Stanford University conducted a study which is now famously known as the Marshmallow experiment. What this study consisted of was the professor took 4 and 5-year-olds, put them in a room, and gave them a marshmallow. He let them know that he was going to be gone for a while, and if he came back and there was still the marshmallow, they could have 2. But if he came back and there was no marshmallow, then they would not get a second one. So the doctor walked away, and for 15 minutes, the kids were left to themselves in a marshmallow. The majority of the kids ate the marshmallow the second the professor closed the door. Some of them waited, danced a little bit, but couldn't hold it any longer and ate the marshmallow. A very few waited the whole 15 minutes, and when the doctor came back, well, they were rewarded with another marshmallow. This study became famous not because the videos of the kids were entertaining, and you can see people recreate this study online, and it's pretty funny, the reactions of the kids. This study became famous because after that initial experiment, Stanford kept conducting interviews and kept following up with the individuals that did and did not eat the marshmallow. And the special thing is that the people that did not eat the marshmallows ended up getting higher test scores in their SATs, lower substance abuse, less likelihood of obesity. They responded better to stress and were more social people. What all this basically means was that those kids that did not eat the marshmallow for the 15 minutes, when they followed up with them in life, they saw that those kids were actually more successful in many things. They were actually more successful in life because of one thing. They delayed gratification. They were patient. Delaying gratification basically means if you delay the gratification of watching TV, watching Netflix, watching that series, and get your homework done, then you're gonna learn more and get better grades. If you delay the gratification of buying the chips or the junk food until you get home and eat healthier food, then you'll be a much healthier person. In more simple terms, what this means is that success basically comes down to choosing the pain of discipline over the ease of distraction. Those people that prefer to face a little pain now in the meantime in the process get rewarded heavily compared to those people that don't want to face that pain even if it's for a little bit, and they rather go on being distracted by other things. I bring this subject into matter because it's something that me as a young person has been bothering me for a while, for I don't know how many years. It's basically been in my mind, and it's time. Me being young, 1 year feels like forever. 6 months feels like forever as well. And the thing is, I've always believed myself to be a patient guy in anything. But when it comes to the important stuff, the things that matter to me, I want them now. I want those quick thrills. I want the money now. I want this now. I want that now. Without knowing, when you go and try to do something in life, if you have one goal in mind, like they say, it's not the destination, it's the journey. And I've come to the conclusion that yes, the destination is important because it's that thing that's gonna keep you pushing forward. But the journey is what changes you from the person you are now to the person you have to become to have that goal, to reach that destination. So the process, like a guy that I love to watch, Gary Vaynerchuk, he says, fall in love with the process, because the process is what's gonna make you. Time can mess with your mind like it's messed with mine. I've come to accept it a little bit better now. When you realize if you're 20 years old and it's gonna take you 5 years to achieve a certain thing, you're gonna be 25 years old, you're still young. If you're 30, 35 years old, you're still young. If you're 50 years old and you want to do something and it's gonna take 5 years, you're 55 years old. The average lifespan of an American right now, if I'm not mistaken, is around 83 years in your 80s. So if you're 50 years old, you have 30 years left. If you treat yourself like an average person, you know what you can do in 30 years? It's crazy. I'm not even there yet. And I've done quite a lot of things, and there's so much more to come. It's like the famous saying, easy come, easy goes. The money you have now, you get it real quick, it's probably gonna go even quicker out the window because you haven't gone through that process. Rome wasn't built in a day. It took centuries and it became an empire. A couple of days ago, I had a conversation with this elderly woman. She was an awesome lady, and there was one thing that stuck out through the whole conversation that we had. She said that now at the age that she's at, 10 years feels like nothing. When she looks back, it's like, wow, time has flown by. And when you go in my perspective, where 5 years is an eternity compared to somebody that's on the other spectrum of life, and you say 10 years, it's nothing, it's gonna go by. That just blew my mind, but it put me in the right position to understand that you have to be patient, because time's gonna pass anyway. It's like this quote that I have here, which says, never give up on a dream because of the time that it's gonna take. The time's gonna pass anyway. So if you truly love something, if you truly have one goal in mind, and it may seem impossible, or you feel like it's gonna take forever, don't focus on the 10, 30 years, whatever that it may take, because you're young, you're always gonna be young. If you have it correct in here, you're not gonna have any problems. Stick to your goal, stick to what you wanna do. So if there's something you truly love, get it in your mind, get it set, get it clear, and start working on it. Don't worry about the time. Time's gonna pass on anyway. Don't worry about that. Just work on it, and work on it, and work on it, and work on it. But make sure it's something you love. You don't have to go suffering through life. You will have to face pain, because you're becoming a better version of yourself. You're becoming something different. You're challenging your old habits, and habits are not easy to get rid of, and they're not easy to form. So it's that pain, but if you truly want things, that pain's gonna be worth it for you in the long run. So just pick that thing that you like, that you love, and work on it, and work on it, and be patient. Because if you're patient, you're gonna have 2 marshmallows and not just one. If you're willing to wait however much it takes to get your reward, you're gonna be much happier with that, because you became a completely different person to be able to reach that goal that you had in mind. It's beautiful when you think about it. So have patience and let success come to you, because through that process, through that waiting, that's what's gonna get you to the best version of yourself. Thank you.